Have you ever stood in your home, looked around, and felt that something was missing? Not because the room was unfinished or that the furniture was wrong, but because despite everything you've added over the years, it still doesn't feel fulfilling. So another chair arrives, a different rug, new artwork, a larger television. The room is technically changing, but the feeling is not. Most of the time, what we're searching for isn't another purchase. It's an odd conclusion to come to, understanding that something is missing and that adding more will not solve it. My name is Chaudhry, and today I want to share with you what I believe every remarkable home possesses and why so many men never realize it's what's been missing all along. If you're a returning subscriber, hit the thumbs up. If you're new here, hopefully by the end of this video, you'll be a subscriber. Remember that if you would like our help in designing your room, you can have that help by clicking the link in the description below. Every memorable home has something in common. It knows what it's trying to become. That may sound obvious, but it's where most people go wrong. Rooms are often created one purchase at a time. A sofa because it was comfortable, a coffee table because it matched, artwork because there was an empty wall. Each decision seems reasonable on its own, yet when they're viewed together, the room lacks conviction. It's a collection of good choices without a larger idea connecting them. The best homes don't happen that way. They begin with a point of view. Before a single chair is selected, there's already an understanding of how that room should feel. Do we want it to be distinguished, restorative, thoughtful, inspiring? Everything that follows should serve that vision. That's why exceptional interiors feel effortless. Not because they required fewer decisions, but because every decision answered the same question. Does this strengthen the story that we're trying to tell? Here's a simple exercise. Before you buy anything for a room, write down 3 words. Not a style, not furniture, 3 words that describe how you want the room to feel. For example, it might be structured, layered, and warm. Now every decision has a guiding purpose. Every chair, every light fixture, every material. Ask yourself one question. Does this strengthen one of those 3 words? If it doesn't, it probably doesn't belong in the room. Like a car with GPS, it's remarkable how much easier the journey becomes once the destination is clear. One of the fastest ways to recognize a thoughtfully designed room is that your eyes instinctively know where to look. There's a sense of order. Something leads and everything else supports. Perhaps it's a fireplace wrapped in a richly veined stone, a dramatic library wall, an oversized piece of artwork, or maybe a beautifully proportioned dining table. Whatever it is, the room has established a clear hierarchy. Compare that to spaces where every element competes equally. Open shelving filled edge to edge, decor spread across every surface, multiple focal points pulling your attention in different directions. The room isn't lacking beautiful pieces, it's lacking leadership. When listening to an orchestra, every instrument matters, but only one carries the melody. The rest exists to strengthen it. Your room should work the same way. You'll need to choose what deserves to lead, then allow everything else to reinforce that. Here's an easy way to test your own room. Walk out of it, wait a few seconds, then walk back in. What did your eyes first notice? If the answer isn't immediate, your room probably doesn't have a clear focal point. Choose one. Your fireplace, the bed, the dining table, your library wall. Let that become the melody. Everything else are just supporting instruments. One of the hallmarks of mature design is the confidence to leave well enough alone. Not every wall requires decoration. Every corner does not need furniture. A shelf doesn't need to resemble a telephone line full of pigeons. Restraint isn't the absence of design, it's evidence of confidence. Think about the finest tailored clothing. The man who dresses well isn't wearing every luxury item he owns at once. He understands proportion, balance, and editing. A room deserves the same discipline. Often, refinement isn't created by adding something extraordinary. It's revealed when unnecessary distractions are removed. The result is a space where your attention can rest. It frees up your ability to notice craftsmanship, where the materials and items are given the chance to speak without interrupting one another. Try this sometime this week. Stand in the doorway of your room, take a photograph. Now look at that photo instead of the room. How many decorative objects can you count in the first 5 seconds? Remove 3 of those. Not forever, just for a week. You'll often discover something surprising. The pieces that remain suddenly become more noticeable. Therefore, more appreciated. They've finally been given room to matter, and that's what you're aiming for. The homes that stay with us aren't always the most lavish. They're the most personal. Walk into an exceptional home and you'll often discover something beyond furniture. You discover the owner's interests, his profession, his pursuits, his curiosity, books that have clearly been read, objects collected over decades, photography with personal significance, a favorite instrument, artists he's drawn to, vintage maps. Pieces chosen because they meant something, not because they completed a shopping list. Your home shouldn't feel interchangeable. It should feel impossible to mistake for anyone else's. Here's a question worth asking yourself. Imagine every piece of furniture disappeared overnight. What would still tell someone that this is your home? Would it be your passions that have been displayed in some way? Something you've built or inherited? Lessons learned and things you value? Maybe a hobby that you always return to? If the answer is not much, then the room may be reflecting purchases more than personality. Great homes always leave you understanding something about the person who lives there. What might be the most important ingredient is one of the hardest to describe: atmosphere. It's the reason two homes can contain equally beautiful furniture, yet leave you with completely different memories. Weeks later, you won't remember the exact coffee table or the color of the sofa. You will remember how the room felt. Comfortable and inviting, but thrilling for your senses. That's what atmosphere does. It's created by dozens of elements working together. Lighting that creates depth instead of simply brightness, textures that invite you to reach out and touch them, a balance of openness and intimacy, even the way sound moves through the space. If you are unsure and you want to gauge how your home is performing in this area of atmosphere, imagine a friend unexpectedly stops by. Would you feel encouraged to invite them in to sit down? Not because they're your friend, but because you're excited to have them experience what you've created. Or would you use that tired phrase, "I haven't cleaned, the place is a mess, or else I would invite you in," and continue the conversation near the doorway? Rooms with atmosphere encourage yourself and others to settle in. Your conversations will last a bit longer. Another cup of coffee will appear at the table. Time slows down because no one feels rushed to leave. Be honest with that answer, and it might reveal something. If there's one idea that I'd leave you with, it's this. The most memorable homes aren't defined by individual pieces. They're defined by the consistency of the decisions behind them. Over the next week, don't buy anything. Don't order another chair or browse another furniture website. Instead, walk through every room in your home asking yourself 5 questions. Does this room know what it's trying to become? What is my focal point? What could I remove? What here tells my story? And how does this room actually make me feel? You'll probably discover something. That improvement doesn't lie in your next purchase, but in your next decision. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up. If you feel like sticking around a while, feel free to subscribe. See you in the next one.